Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary. Today is October the 4th. It's a Monday, so hopefully you guys had a great weekend and you have a great trading week ahead of you. I'm just going to put the disclaimers on the board. They're up there on the top left hand corner. So please read them, not just for legal reasons, but also to understand what these kind of videos entail and what you can expect from them. My name's Becky. My email address is down here. It's becky@tradictive.com. Or there's also support@tradictive.com, so you can email either one of those if you need help with anything. Now, the 3D market commentary is a video that we do 5 times a week, so once every day, Monday to Friday, where we expand on an email that we send out. We send that email out to our free members, and in that email it has information on 5 major world markets every day, and the 3, that's why we call it a 3D market commentary, the 3 main elements that we look at per market. So if you don't have that and you want to, if you want to get the email, you can go to tradewithufos.com/Becky, get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership at the top there, and then you can scroll down, ask questions here, book one-on-one coaching, but you'll also get that email sent to you every single day that's got information on 5 major world markets, 3 separate elements. So let's have a look at what we have today, and we'll look at the email and look at the charts that obviously it's getting the information from, and I'll just expand on it so it gives it a little bit more context. So the 3 separate elements that we look at, first things first, is market climate, meaning where do we have probabilities? Is the market going up? Is the market going down? And therefore, should we buy or should we sell? Or maybe do nothing. Sometimes that's the answer. Now, we use an app to help us. It's this app down here. It's called AutoClimate. It's a free app on most platforms you can get it on. And AutoClimate tells us where the probability is by the dots that we see. If you ignore the lines and just focus on the dots, if we have a thick blue dot, that tells us probability is upwards, so we should probably buy. If we have a thick red dot, that tells us probability is downwards, so we should probably sell. If we have a thin dot of either colour, that tells us probability is in either direction, and therefore we do nothing. So we use an app to give us the probability, so we then know what to do, whether or not to buy or sell or do nothing. We then want to figure out, if we're going to buy, where are we going to buy? And if we're going to sell, where are we going to sell? So again, we use an app for this. It's called AutoUFOs, and it shows us where the buyers are with these little green UFOs, and it tells us the prices, tells us where the buyers are, and the sellers are these red UFOs, and again tells us the prices. So it shows us where we have buyers and sellers, and therefore where we should probably look to buy or sell. So there's that, and then the last thing we look at is market volatility, how quickly we can expect these markets to move. So we'll look at each of those elements per market, starting with the S&P 500. Now the S&P 500 is the top 500 US stocks. Now we're looking at a daily chart for each of these. Of course, different things happen on different time frames, but this is relevant to a daily chart. So with the S&P, we have a confirmed downwards climate, a thick red dot, probability to the downside. Usually this market would go down for 3 candles, and we're on candle number 4. So that means we've gone slightly past what's normal in terms of a move to the downside. Not to say it's going to change direction anytime soon. Sometimes we go past what's normal, sometimes we fall short of what's normal. That's how we get a normal in the middle. But overall, still probability down here with the S&P. We also have sell orders above us between 44.72 to 44.10.75. And we have buy orders below us a little bit further down at 41.23 to 40.55.50. So again, overall probability to the downside, sellers closer to us, longer to go before we hit the buyers. Now in terms of volatility, we'd expect with the S&P that it would move up or down in 1 year of 22.86%. That means in 1 day, up or down of 62.37 points. In a week, it would be 137.3 points, and in a month, 285.81 points. So that's the S&P 500, top 500 US stocks. Overall, probability to the downside for the time being. Now, I say probability. Probability means it's more likely to happen, but it doesn't mean it definitely will happen. We have no guarantees in life, let alone the markets. So of course we still need to be careful, manage our risk, maybe add more things in to add probabilities here. But for most traders, you don't want to be trading anything if you don't at least have some probability in some direction. Okay, next market. Next market is crude oil. Before we look at that, just to highlight here, you can do courses with us in futures, stocks, forex, back testing, trading plans, psychology. So you can do courses with us. If you think any of those will be helpful, you can check them out. Most of them actually come with 3 months complimentary access to the apps. Now, AutoClimate is a free app anyway. On most platforms you can get it on, but AutoUFOs is a paid-for app. It's a subscription service, and if you subscribe to the UFOs directly, which you can do, you don't need to do a course, you can subscribe to the AutoUFOs directly. Normally actually works out cheaper to do a course and get 3 months complimentary than it would be to just subscribe for the AutoUFOs. So check that out depending on what you want to do. Okay, so looking at oil, we have a thick blue dot. That's a confirmed upwards climate, probability to the upside. Now, similar to the S&P, we have gone slightly over what's normal. Usually this market would go up for 7 candles, and we're on candle number 8, which means that we've gone slightly past what's normal, but we still do have probability to the upside. We have buyers beneath us here at 71.48 to 69.39, no sellers above us, which again means probability there to the upside with oil. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect it to move up or down in 1 year of 37.38%, which means in a day, up or down of 1.79 points, in a week, 3.93 points, and in a month, 8.19 points, up or down. So that's oil. Moving on to the next market, which is gold. Before I do that, just to highlight here, we have coaching and support available to you for free on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can join most of our videos there for free. We'll also, of course, respond to your emails and answer your questions for free as well. Now, we also do have a closed coaching community where people pay a very small monthly fee to have access to more of our time in a closed environment. So if you think that would help you out, by all means, check that out. Otherwise, as I said, you can join us for free and a lot of things. So with gold, we have a thin dot there. That means we have an unconfirmed climate. Probability neither direction. Doesn't matter the colour, doesn't matter that it says up. What's important is that it's unconfirmed, meaning undecided, not sure what's going on. If it's undecided, not sure what's going on, there's no point us putting our money to sort of bet either side, right? We want to keep away from markets that don't have decent probabilities. Now, we do have sell orders here, 1866.0 to 1804.4. Buy orders down here, 1652.8 to 1624.4. Both of them, I would say, too far away to really impact the markets today. So overall, indecision with the climate and not close enough to buy or sell orders to make a difference today. So I would say keep away, change market or change time frame. Now, with volatility, we'd expect that with gold, it would go up or down in 1 year of 16.32%. So in a day, that's 18.01 points. In a week, 39.64 points. And in a month, 82.52 points. Okay, so that's gold. Next market is the US dollar. Now, the US dollar is responsible for about 80% of transactions worldwide daily. So be aware of it. Even if you don't trade it, you're going to want to be aware of what's going on. Now, with the dollar, we have a confirmed upwards climate, a thick blue dot, probability upwards. However, we have gone quite a bit past what's normal. Usually this market goes up for 5 candles and we're on candle number 12. So we've gone more than twice as much in terms of what's normal to the upside. So that's reducing our probabilities by quite a bit. We do have sell orders up here, which have started to push price down. These are between 94.52 to 94.12. We have buy orders beneath us at 93.495 to 93.195. Now, if we were to come down and hit this stack of buyers, we'd expect price to go up. So perhaps this climate continues. However, these sellers are fresh, pushing price down, and it could be that it moves through and the sellers win. So for me, because we've gone past what's usual by quite a lot to the upside, and we have sellers close to us, I would personally keep out of this one. There's not enough probabilities lining up for me. But if you were to call it, overall, still slight probability to the upside there with the dollar. Now, in terms of volatility, it's the most volatile market that we look at. It would move up or down in 1 year of 5.04%. Sorry. The least volatile. It's the least volatile market that we look at, as in it moves the least based on all the ones we look at. So 5.04% in a year. So in a day, that's 0.3 points. In a week, 0.66 points. And in 1 month, 1.37 points up or down. So that's the US dollar. Now, moving on to the next market, which is backed Bitcoin. So here we go, backed Bitcoin. Now, we have an unconfirmed climate here. We have a thin dot, not enough probabilities either way. Again, change time frame, change market. No need to trade something that doesn't have any probabilities one side or the other. We have sell orders up here, 57,975 to 54,500, and we have buyers here at 32,820 to 31,615. So again, overall, in the middle there, not close enough to either stack of orders for them to make a big difference. Nothing really confirmed on the climate, so no point trading it today. Not enough probabilities either way. Now, in terms of volatility, this one is the most volatile of the markets we look at. We would expect in a year movement up or down of 87.88%. So in a day, that's up or down of 2,650.74. In a week, 5,835.33. And in a month, 12,147.2. So that would be the movement we expect on Bitcoin. Okay, so last thing we want to look at, because we've so far for all of our markets, we've looked at all of them now. We've looked at market climate using auto climate. Where do we have probabilities up, down, or nowhere, and therefore do we buy, sell, or do nothing? We've looked at buy and sell UFOs using an app, AutoUFOs, to show us where the buyers are and where the sellers are, so that we can have an idea of where we could be buying or selling. And we've looked at volatility, how quickly these markets move. Last thing we want to look at is our weekly economic calendar. We get this from fxstreet.com, and we filter by high impact news, because we want to know what are the news or scheduled news articles that are coming out that are likely to create volatility, so we can again react to that depending on our risk profile as traders. So today being Monday, we've got some news coming out in China. Also, it's a national day in China, so that might affect Chinese markets. And then later on in the evening, this is US time, we have some Australian dollar news or Australian market news. So if you trade those currencies or you trade in those countries, then maybe be aware of that. We may be having some high impact news coming out that could increase volatility on those markets. If you have any questions, you can go to tradewithufos.com/Becky. Get yourself your free Trade with UFOs membership. You'll then get the email every day that we've just gone through. You can book one-on-one coaching with me from here. You can also come down here and ask a question in public, which is great because I can then answer it in public and other people can learn from this area. If you don't feel comfortable to do that, you can email me. It's becky@tradictive.com. Otherwise, this link would be a great place for you to come to do this. So again, tradewithufos.com/Becky. So I will love you and leave you guys. Hopefully you have a great trading week ahead. I'll see you later on in the week with the sessions upcoming, and have a great trading day. Take care.